Check out my brand new sound design course along with all of my samples and presets by using the links below. Oh my god, that sounds so cool. Welcome back to a brand new video, and we'll be making a song partially from scratch. I made this really interesting synth inside of Serum, gave me a future rave type of vibe, and I'll be making a drop with it completely from scratch. So let's get into it. So far I have this main little synth loop, that same pluck I used in the last video. Pretty dark. And then I have that going into some of these vocal chops. But I made this synth inside of Serum actually. It sounds like this. It's giving me like a future rave type of sound, but okay, let's just start with some drums. Let's get some sidechain going on here. Some of these. Could use this as a bass line as well. I'm gonna make a bass from the sine wave, but I'm just getting a feel for the bass line. Let's make a sound. I like making things from scratch just because I don't know. I just like doing it like that. Sine fold in here. Sine shaper is sweet. Put that inside of a MIDI so we can use Serum as an envelope. Okay. Make that a little punchier. That's exactly what I want. Serum effects. There's way too much high end. Doesn't sound bad. Make it go whoop, whoop, whoop. Like this. Nature cloak. I might just make it super simple like this. I'm thinking of duplicating this and just making like an alternative version. So I might keep it this simple and just make the most out of that synth somehow. God, I don't want to leave it this simple though. I feel like I have to overcomplicate things all the time, which isn't a bad thing. We could get more of this in there as well, like the reverb automation. We'll do reverse, reverse. Like I said, I want to add like I have an idea. Okay, let's duplicate this. Okay, so this duplicated synth is exactly like the other one. What if we just went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? That might not sound good. Too much sauce right there. If we light raise it. You can't hear it though, because this one's taking up so much space. Oh, that sounds so cool. Shaper box. If you guys don't have shaper box, I don't know what you're doing. Oh my god, that sounds so cool. Okay, so it needs like drum fills, some atmosphere stuff. Yeah, let's get some atmosphere stuff in there. Nitric tonal bed. That one. gross beats. What do we duplicate of this? I love these like reverse things. Damn it. I'm thinking that we can mess around with the rhythm. The second half, just try to make it as interesting as possible. Could pull a drop bedding. Oh yeah. And I want to put these into a bus, like mess around with the so if we went, what if we just went ticka 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 ticka. Wait, sounds like a helicopter. Alright, so I worked on this for a couple more hours. Everything's pretty much the same, except I transposed everything down -3, so everything's gonna sound a lot deeper. I felt like the bass wasn't hitting properly because the notes up here, when I had them down, I couldn't put them down because it was just too low for a sub. And when I had them up like this, it just felt too high and I couldn't make it sound good in the mix. So anything that had a tone to it, I transposed it down 3. And then I felt like this whole synth loop, I felt like it was getting really repetitive. And for the second half of the drop, I had that higher layer, but it just sounded really weird because there was so much happening there, and I felt like it was just too much going on. So in that build-up, you guys saw me do this, and I had that in mind. I'm like, oh wait, I could actually use it for the second half. So the main drop is like this, and then I just made a variation of that. Then over here it goes no 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 no, and I just felt like this synth could be used for a lot of different things, not just future rave like I was going for. And then I added a little layer for that part. And real quickly, once again, that synth effect, I have a macro on the slope of the LFO. So if we take an LFO, I have a macro on this thing right here. So when the macro is down, that's how we get that plucky sound. And then when that macro is up, this also goes up. So macro down and then macro up. And that's what I'm switching between on that main automation right here. Loads of automation here as well. But the coolest thing in this is I love these reverses. I think they play a big role in the overall transitions of the drop. Very messy project, I apologize, but I was moving when I was doing this. And then at the end of the first 8 bars, I had this little transitional type of thing. This one's a sample from Nitric. It was kind of going with that theme of the whole choppy gate. And then I have this stab in here as well. And then everything's just sweeping back into the first. Trying to make that transition as smooth as possible. And then 2 more quick things. Like I said, I had that main synth and I had to make the most out of it. And a lot of the arrangement of the noises and the effects is so important here. So when the first hit of the drop comes in, it's pretty dry. There's not much reverb, there's not much noise. If we take a listen. But I saved that for later. So gradually we're getting more noise. We're kind of getting we're getting a little bit more relaxed as we move on, which I think gives it a little more energy as well. And then one final thing in the build-up, that little 4-bar build-up if you want to call it, I did the Mesto Jonas Aiden effect where you pump the sidechain. A little riser. This is actually a sample from Illuminati. I needed to find something weird. Pitch that up and you can pretty much make a riser from anything. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this song. I had that synth and I'm like, I have to make something out of this because it's such a cool sound, but I knew it was going to be difficult. When you have a single element like just that synth, it's hard to keep it interesting when you have that same thing going the whole time. So a lot of the work in this came from arrangement, evolving everything, somehow adding cool effects. Here is the full playthrough. Check out my brand new sound design course along with all of my samples and presets by using the links below.